we have a petition to be in the next season. Nicole doesn't like that I'm pulling this up because she's
I
like,
love this.
we're not famous enough.
No,
But
no,
I
no.
the
If you don't
petition.
ask for it, you're never gonna get it. That's a rule.
sir, I've been asking since season one.
Yeah, Matthew.
Well, thank you both for joining us. We've both been so excited for this since December and watching the full season. So good. So excited to chat. We have like way more questions than we need. So we have so many things to chat about.
Let's chat away. I'm so excited. Thank you
Yeah.
for having us.
We have more answers than you want, so the more questions, the better.
Okay, so this season you explored Tucket Mansion. I'm gonna butcher the names of half of these. I'm so sorry.
We'll
Okay.
Craig,
correct, we'll correct you as you go if you need help.
Craig Derrick Castle, Caribou Hotel, Belle Island Mines, Lunenburg Academy, Fulford Place, Fort Henry, and Kawartha Settlers Village.
You literally crushed all of them. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Craig
Craig
Derrick did
Derrick
tribute
Castle and
one
I
of
was like, this
them.
isn't gonna.
No, you
They
did
just
No,
them. You
literally,
ate.
like we were on camera sometimes, and I was like, "It's Craig Derrick, right? Or is it Craig Darach? What is this?"
I
Yeah.
At
think there
one point,
was one point where you guys like cut into the show and you were like, we actually butchered that. This is how it is. And I
Yes.
giggled.
there's literally when we were filming, we just started calling Craig Derrick Craig and Derrick
Hmm.
Castle, like Craig and Derrick, to the
Smart.
point that during on one of Percy's interviews, he accidentally was like, he like fumbled on. He was like, "Oh, we were like with Craig in Derrick. Craig was in Derrick or something," and he was like, "That's not right." And the whole such a. Anyways, you crashed it. Long story short.
Thanks. But you took this season all across Canada, which was super exciting to see. Do you have a favorite place that you either went, maybe for the historical aspect, or maybe just for the full experience?
I mean, I definitely have an answer.
I mean, I want to answer whatever. I know what Luke's gonna say, so you go first, Luke.
The Yukon.
Oh, yeah.
There was nothing. There was nothing ever. I will never. I don't think I will ever. Do you ever have those like trips or whatever where you go somewhere and you're like, I won't. This will never happen. I will never experience this again. This was like once in a lifetime. Even if I went back, I don't think I could re-emulate that. That was the experience being in the Yukon from the moment we landed to the moment we left. Everything was amazing. I was so grateful we were able to go there. It was so fun and like I like that 4 days we were there feels like 3 months in my mind. I had so much fun.
Yeah, no, the Yukon was absolutely incredible. I would second that, but I will say for variety's sake, Newfoundland, like the opposite side of the country, really incredible. The location was amazing. Our guest was awesome. The island, Belle Island, was so hospitable to us. There's only like 2,000 people on it. There's not one traffic light, hardly a stop sign. Dick's Fish and Chips welcomed us. We got screeched in. And so the cherry on top was at the Airbnb that I was staying in. Ah, right there.
You
The
had that
Airbnb that I was
ready.
staying in literally was a haunted Airbnb. It was insane. And it has been featured on Creepy Canada. And there was like an instance literally off camera where me and Mackenzie, who was staying there, we heard footsteps in the hallway and it was like, that wasn't you. That wasn't me. We were like, okay, let's get out of here. So Newfoundland definitely was top of the list for
But
me.
Newfoundland was like crazy because we were literally on a remote island and like normally for both seasons, like all talent stays together and everyone else kind of broken up. But because of like this is like how this was, like me and Veronica Sokoska were like in our own house at the top of the hill, and at the bottom of the hill was Matthew and one of the executives. Like Matthew was staying with her. And so it was just so funny. We're like in the middle of the night, it was like you're just stranded. Like you can't it was just so creepy, but it was so funny. Like Veronica would like be like, I can't go to sleep. She's like, I'm not going to sleep. Someone's gonna come kill me and do something, whatever. Like the whole thing was just so fun.
It was
They
so
were
nice.
all so different.
The man was giving us a tour of the Airbnb, and on one of the walls in the house was a picture of all of his dead relatives who had actually built the house. So he was like, yeah, they're definitely still here. And I was like, okay, yeah, they definitely are. And that was where we charged all the ghost equipment too, because that was like something I really see happens before every episode. And so it was kind of crazy to be in this haunted Airbnb with all of these ghost tools, just being like, okay, I hope nothing goes off. But yeah,
You had the full vibe going for that entire time you were there.
absolutely.
Bell Island is it's its own beast.
Speaking of post investigation, have you guys had any post investigation experiences like weird dreams, unexplained activity at home, Any feelings like these things followed you home that make you really question if what you saw was real?
There were some instances season one that happened for sure. There were some things in my place, some lights, some footsteps in my apartment. Season two, I shared this video with everybody. After we came home from our investigation at the Lunenburg Academy, my television literally started speaking in like demonic speech. It was actually insane. Like I was watching it and it was just sports, which like I guess that's so straight of me.
There was the
Um,
television in his hotel room the night we filmed it.
Yes, it was like we got home, the TV, and then it's like it wasn't English. It was nothing. Everyone I showed it to was like, "How did you even sleep in that room?" I literally shut it off, and I went, "Not today, demons!" And I just turned the lights off. I was like, went to sleep because I believe those things only have as much power as you give them, and like he wasn't gonna get an inch from me. But yeah, that was creepy. I was like, okay, this is weird.
I will say one of the fun things that happened was during season two, that also happened when we were in Halifax or Nova Scotia, was I discovered that my great uncle died on the Titanic. And then me and Matthew went to because there was all the Titanic stuff there. So me and Matthew did like a crash course Titanic thing. And
Mm.
then we like used like the ghost tools at the grave site. And there was like this thing that was like, you will not, it was like, you won't leave or something. It was like, you won't leave until it's like 11 or something. There was something like that, whatever. Our flight got delayed. It got canceled for another day. We could not leave, and it was delayed all the way back for like 2 days. And we were on the plane on the tarmac for hours, and it finally took off at 11 p.m.
I will say
That's
that was
so
hours.
weird.
everyone wanted Luke to be wrong because we really wanted to get home, but it just was like, oh damn, the ghost was right. Damn it.
My uncle
That's
was like,
crazy.
"Listen, girl, sit back, relax, have fun in Halifax. When I'm going anywhere."
And yeah, actually, fun fact, what we did to kill time was we went to the restaurant, which was previously the morgue that would have accepted Luke's uncle's body off the shore of the Atlantic Ocean when all of the Titanic victims were brought. So we really did honor your uncle, and what a
Yes,
delicious lobster thermidor we had, you know?
it was amazing. And the funny thing is that there's so many comments on socials being like, "Why didn't you guys go to the Five Fishermen's restaurant? It's the most haunted place in Nova Scotia." That's the morgue. That was the morgue that we had a lovely 5-star dinner at. We got
Mhm.
a little
Lovely.
bit tipsy and it was great. And that's where my uncle was ID'd. And anyways, RIP to him. And yeah,
And come on,
At
you're
least you made it a
still
family affair.
Yes.
and you're still a ghost pessimist, Luke. After all of this, you're like out of the two of you, definitely less
I
of
think in season two, there's a specific event that happens in the Halifax episode that definitely
No, no, no,
there's
no. I will
there's some
confirm. Luke challenges his conviction this season in a way that I think will satisfy some fans. And yeah, I'll leave it at that.
in my opinion, the Lunenburg episode is probably the scariest out of all 16 episodes of the show. That's what I can say.
I'd agree with
Oh.
that. I'd agree with that.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen all of them.
Work. Oh, I forgot.
Wait, but season two?
Yeah.
What?
We had
Love
a binge
it.
party last night.
Well, I guess
We
we
were
Oh,
should-
okay, so the thing in the window.
That's
That
why I
was
said don't
crazy.
lie to us.
No, so
No.
that was so literally what was
Ah.
happening was we were okay. So the whole that basement, something was okay. I'm so happy that we can just talk about this.
Yeah, that's like
The-
now we can actually share. We
Yeah,
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
vibe in that basement was fucked. There was a bunch of things because that school was operational during both World Wars. So as you can imagine, there was a lot of things down there that would not fly. And it was like the vibe was just bad. The whole thing was fucked up. Everything was just weird. And then obviously we did what we did and we left. And then like the director and the producers are looking at the monitor like, is that someone on the thing? And then me and Matthew were looking at it and like the DP, because the cameras were down. So he goes outside to see because we're thinking like someone's like trespassing while we're filming or whatever. No one's there. So then we're like, hello? And so, but like she can't see it, but we can. And as soon as we went in, it was gone. On the cameras as well. Like the whole thing just disappeared.
It's so weird. And our corroborators said that like you will see shadows in the windows, outside the windows, looking, and it's not often that people make a claim and then you experience the claim that people said. It's just very weird. We all were shook. And that was the night my TV started speaking to me as a demon. It was like, okay.
And that was the
here.
day after that. And my uncle had talked to, we did the uncle thing. I think it was either the day after or whatever, or right around there. But like all of these weird things just like happened at once. Like it was within a 24-hour period, and it was just like it gagged me because I
Mhm.
was like the whole thing with season two was to also up the driving home of is it haunted or not by proving if the things that people see are real. And it's like everyone's like you see the thing of a man, it only responds to women, it'll only show itself to women. And as soon as we left, it showed up. I don't. Like me and Matthew were like,
Yeah, gagged.
I could
When
not believe that.
when you told Nikki to turn and you're like, what would you say if I told you there was someone in the window and she started turning? I'm like, don't look, don't look. I was like, if that was
The
me,
way
I
she was
would
like, I don't
freak.
see it. I was like, it's
And
right
she was so
there.
unfazed, and I'm literally like, oh my God, no,
Honestly,
that
she might have been the perfect person to have in that room because anyone else would have gotten up and ran or just wouldn't have believed it. But she was like, so I don't know if that thing in her brain is gone that like induces fear, the amygdala, but she was like so calm,
She
it
turned
was
way too
so.
quickly.
right?
And that school itself and the cemetery, like there's just so many things of that built. Like they were hanging people still there while it was a school. Like those two things were happening at the same time. And I was like, what? So there's just all of these. Anyways, Lunenburg, spooky, spooky place.
I'm glad you're finally admitting to spookiness.
I mean, listen, if you were like, I want to go somewhere haunted and I want to experience something based on the evidence we found from that episode, it was there. The thing that everyone's like, oh, it's there. You can go check it out for yourself. We saw it. So it's there.
I feel like I have to ask, would you guys ever consider staying overnight in a notoriously haunted location for like a ghosting special? Have a little sleepover with the ghosts?
I mean, I just nodded my head so large. Actually, fun fact, season one, episode one, we shot it at the Merrill House in Pecton, Ontario. And we did spend the night there because it's now on Airbnb, was a Victorian mansion turned Airbnb.
Hmm.
The thing is just with Bacola, Aoka, Luke, and myself, none of us yielded any results that warranted us putting that in the episode because it's so short for time anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah, we did that right out the gate. We had that idea, but staying over in a place that's not a five-star hotel, I would definitely do it. I would love to.
But also the proof of concept we shot for the show, we stayed at the Beck House in Petatang and
Mhm.
we also slept there. So both the first and second investigation ever of ghosting were
Yeah.
sleepovers, but neither
And
of them ever saw the light of day.
something did wake up Luke in the middle of the night. And so we started this whole thing back with Luke having a paranormal experience. We were like, okay, Buddy Boy is down for it. The ghosts just have never been as good as that proof of concept. I think the ghosts knew what they were doing when we were making our POC to be like, okay, these boys need some juice and we're going to inject it into this footage. And then they're going to take that and run. Maybe we'll release that one day for fans to see. But no, we definitely would sleep over. I want to sleep over in like a jail or something.
That'd be
There is a
fun.
hostel jail in Ottawa that keeps coming up on our list. We tried to get into the Kingston Pen, but apparently there's lead poisoning. So,
Darn.
you know,
I want to talk to you about episode 3 with Joel at the Caribou Hotel because that was insane when his first reaction when he walked into the hotel is talking about the beard and the name, and then later with the Ovulus 5. I was crazy. What was that like to be in that room when you were all sitting there and you kind of realized what was happening? And then Joel was like, oh my God.
Joel Olet is the smartest person on the face of the planet somehow.
yeah.
Um, he's amazing. By the way, just want to take a moment for Joel Olet. We're obsessed with him. I love him. He's in, I don't know if you guys saw, he's a part of the new Disney Descendants.
Yeah.
We
He's
were literally talking about him before we got on this call.
he's literally a Disney prince now. So you're welcome, Joel, for that. Me and Matthew gave that to you.
Exactly.
Um, he's amazing.
Well, I think the really cool thing is that we always try to encourage our guests to follow their intuition. There's a reason why we bring our guests to every location, no matter how loose that thread is. And for Joel, he was so open to the space and he was, yeah, we were just like, follow your intuition. And he didn't even connect the dots. And we didn't even connect the dots until like fire started coming up. And then we knew more of the story than he did. And yeah, it was actually insane to be in the final hotspot and realize we were speaking to the spirit of one of the original owners, and the facts just all clicked. And then when our device said the name that Joel had intuited when he walked into the property without knowing anything, that was a smoking gun for me, because I was like, we've never had anything like that before. That would be, somebody walking into a space and saying the name. They, like, literally, he had no idea.
That was the thing. There was
Yeah.
no in because again, and as you guys see in season 2, which is different than season 1, that first impressions room where they find out where they are or what this is or whatever. And so to Matthew's point, it's like the fact that he knew nothing at all and then immediately got that. And we touch on it obviously in the episode because we bring it up. But the next day when we were there and we were with some of the owners and people that worked there, and they're like, oh, do you guys find anything? And I was like, oh, there was this, whatever. Like there was a person named Jack that come up, and they were like, oh, that's so weird that you would bring that name up because the other people that came here brought that name up too. And I was like, why is that weird? And then they were like, oh, because the Gideons had a business partner named Jack. And there was like this whole lore that, again, like Jack killed the original owner to take over. Like it was a
Allegedly.
pre-established thing that Joel said it, allegedly, but Joel said it without knowing anything. And then she said what he said, but as a fact. The next day, and they never met. They never crossed. I was like, it was insane.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Season 2 just had you gagged, apparently.
Yes.
Because it was just like everything was like, what the hell is going on? It was great. Love the Yukon, but that was like, I just remember being like, because there was just so many little things that were just like, it was just bizarre. It was bizarre.
Yeah. Because we're always doing our silly, goofy, girly things. But then when like something real, like it's all real, but when something really impactful happens, you kind of have to be like, okay, wait, whoa, this is actually unexplainable. I know we're making our silly ghost television show, but this is like actually paranormal. There's no way to explain this. This is kind of psychic. Is this a ghost communicating with Joel right now? Is that what's happening? And like obviously the ghost would talk to Joel. He's like such a babe. They wouldn't want to talk to Luke or I, but they're like, oh, here's someone with actually like common sense. Joel, it's Jack. It's Jack. So it's like so cool that he picked up on that.
I'm literally obsessed with him. I love it.
I love the friendship. I love the friendship. Speaking of friends and family, have any of them ever warned you about doing these investigations, or have any of them had their own like ghostly encounters, maybe like you did, Luke, in the proof of concept?
My family is like psychotic, so like I don't believe anything they say. So like my family, no. My family's more afraid of like guns than ghosts. You know what I mean?
I mean, valid.
You know, like we don't no. And maybe that's why I'm so unfazed, but we don't really have a whole lot of that.
My family fully believes and fully supports. And when I told them that, I was making this show, they were not surprised for a moment. The house I grew up in is haunted. The daughter, trigger warning, took her own life in the house. And so we've always sort of known there was a spirit. She's sort of like, I don't know, the sixth child that grew up with us, if you will. And so we've been really open always to the presence of the paranormal. And they had no bones about me doing this. They're always just like, don't bring anything home, Matt. Come on, just be smart about it, which I think I am. Although things do follow, but obviously I tell them to leave.
Fair.
Yeah.
Very responsible of you.
Please hunt responsibly.
Yeah. Well, we have a bit of a game to play.
I am obsessed with the outfits that you guys have in this season. Like, that was the first thing that caught my mind. Y'all ate. So we have a little game called Summon or Ghost, where we're gonna show you some cute little outfits and like ghost outfits, and you're gonna say whether you love them and would summon them back, or if you want to ghost them because they're just not slay.
First one, I was gonna do one from Ezra, but then I was like, that's too easy. We gotta stay though on the vampire wavelength. So we got
Oh. Summon 100%, bury me in it.
Lather me up. The only thing I would add to that would be like a little whale tail in the back. Do you know what I mean?
What the fuck is a whale tail?
It's when the thong is poking out and it's super sexy.
Is that like okay?
I don't think Luke's vibing with that, but the rest of it.
I love a thong show. I just didn't know that was called a whale tail.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know.
That? Did you guys know that?
I did not know that, but then I'm not surprised because every time I've talked to you guys, Matthew always pulls out like the definitions of things.
He's full of
It's
random things that will never help you.
No, 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 no. You are going to need to know what a whale tail is at one point. And now you all know. Okay.
We're
It'll
educated.
come up eventually, and I'll be like, thank you, Matthew.
Exactly.
All right,
Ugh.
number two. From the Candyman, how are we feeling about this jacket? Trench
Okay,
coat?
here's the thing though, I would honestly say summon.
I
Because
knew
Okay.
you were going to.
I,
Um,
you with the right shoe, those are the wrong shoe, but the jacket I can do it.
I'm definitely gonna ghost this look. I would wear this for a carpet. I would do it for like a cool event, but I don't think it's practical unless we were ghost hunting in the Arctic, you know.
Okay.
But I am infamously really sweaty and I run very warm. And I think in this jacket, I would look disgusting. So I would have to say ghost all the way.
I'm with
Luke, I have to ask, what shoe are we pairing this with? Is it like a platform heel or just like normal shoe?
A heel. Like it's like for me, it's the jacket. It's like maybe like a mesh undershirt, some high-waisted pants, like very slutty, and then like a leather, maybe like a hide Chelsea boot, or even like a pump.
Okay.
Like but black, like patent leather. Like it's giving like Cruella de Vil, but like in a horror movie that's not about dogs. Like it's very just like rich. You know what I mean? There's a way to
So
this isn't the way to do it, but there is a way to make this work.
it could be a season 3 look.
It could
It
be
could be.
actually. This suits our headquarters more than the
Yeah.
investigation. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And speaking of season three, what would you do if you ran into Mr. Ghostface?
I would call Devin Nakota from season
Uh,
one and say, Devin, you died in the last one, so now what do we do?
no, I love this. I think I would try to pull him into the closet. We'd have a little fun. I would definitely summon this look. I do think it's fun. Maybe we should do an homage to Scream Face, or sorry, Ghostface in
Okay.
season 3. To Scream Face. That's gonna be our knockoff version that we call him
Yeah,
for copyright.
I get annoyed with it.
I love the Scream movies. They're like my favorite movies ever. I love Ghostface. I would party. I would really hope it'd be like Emma Roberts, who's the killer in Scream 4.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, like she'd be under there, but like 'cause I love Emma Roberts. But I would vibe. I'd be like, let's go school. Like I would be like, should we take a shot? Like I'd be like living. I'd be like, should we go target Devin Nakota again?
It'd be more like the Ghostface vibe from Scary Movie. That one's a little crazy.
Yeah.
That's how it would actually read in our show, but we'd pretend it was the Scream version.
Here's my question though. If you guys hunted or like investigated in this outfit, do you think the ghosts would get offended?
No,
I think they'd feel seen.
I
Maybe.
think
They need more representation.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that yeah. I think this is
Ghosts are
a
people too.
caricature of a ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
We'll keep that in mind.
Ghost representation is important.
It is. They were people at one
They
point.
were. You know, this was never a person. This was just a person in a costume.
Correct.
True.
Twilight Zone.
I'm like, is that glitter on this one too? Or it's just rain?
I
It's
think
just
it's rain.
Yeah.
But
Um,
like you guys
Rain.
could pull off the glitter.
This is
Well, I
the
will
first
say,
one.
I will, yeah. Nicole, go.
I was supposed to say when he's in the garage and he kills Tatum. Was it raining? I don't think it was ever raining, but
There is, this is because I know things with the Scream movie. They did have a specific fabric that had a bit of sheen to it, so that it didn't read as flat black in darkness. So you'd be able to kind of see him a bit more, or the killer a bit more.
Maybe he just came from the club.
When I go to the club, I want to hear those club classics.
Mhm.
XCX.
Okay, we have two more. Next one actually reminded me of Matthew's look from when we did the CBC Winter Press Day. So I had to pull Mr. Michael Keaton out for this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely summon this look. Please, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I will wear this till the ghosts come home.
Summon, iconic. This is like the male equivalent of like Elvira's costume.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
I love that.
Last one, I had to do two. I couldn't pick between these two. So how are we feeling about Heidi Klum's Halloween party costumes from 2022 and 2004?
I think this represents how I feel on the outside and how I feel on the inside. You choose which is which.
Okay.
It's up for interpretation.
Exactly. No, I would definitely wear her. Wait, which one? is the red one. What year was that? That was 2014? No.
Well, it's the
2004 is the
witch.
witch one, yeah.
Where
One
is
is
Yeah.
a worm.
2014 on here?
What? I don't know. I honestly, 2004, I was dyslexic. I will wear the witch. I don't know if I could do the worm, although I want to know how long it took her to get into that prosthetics. Like, that's insane. But
Like,
I
how
would
uncomfortable would that be? I can't even.
that's what we look like after an investigation. Like, literally, we get back to the hotel. It's like 6 in the morning. We're jacked up on Red Bull, and it's just like, hey, trying to get to bed.
I don't know
Luke,
how
what are you saying?
Ghost.
Both of them?
Yeah, I've seen a better witch, and she did the worm. No one needs to redo that.
That's true.
That's my don't fix it if it ain't broke.
There would
You
be
That is
know,
so
valid.
much shock value if someone showed up like that now because we've seen it.
they came, they saw, they conquered.
But what a journey she's had, She's
For
really
real.
stepped up her
That's
game.
literally season 1 and season 2.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I love that.
Unofficial, official posters.
No, but that's the key art.
We did want to ask about Hell of a Summer. We wanted to say congratulations, Matthew. We both saw the movie at TIFF in 2023, so I'm very
Thank
excited
you.
to see it finally coming out next month.
I know.
I was trying to think back to scenes I could ask you about without giving anything away, and then I was rewatching the trailer, and one of your favorite lines from the movie is in there when you're talking to Fred's character, Jason, and you're like,
You're like 40 fucking 5 and you still go to summer camp.
Yeah.
I'm only 24.
what was it like tapping into that character for you? What was your favorite part of playing Ezra?
You know what, Ezra, he's the theater camp counselor at Camp Pineway. And it honestly just felt like an homage to a younger, more flamboyant version of myself because I was a drama camp counselor for 10 years. Shout out to anybody who went to Margaret Hall theater camps. And so it really did feel like a way to poke fun at myself. And like make a or large, I say he's a larger version of me, but maybe he's just a really accurate version of me. I'm not sure. But to fit that into like the horror world tropes was really fun. And yeah, I love Ezra. It's funny that I played Ezra and Luke also
I
played
was gonna
Ezra.
say, it's like
So,
a joint
Yeah.
bonding moment.
This is the funny thing about the Hell of a Summer
Yeah.
ghosting Ezra pipeline.
It's so
And
crazy.
we wrapped Ezra in basically like April 1st, 2022.
Mhm.
June 2022, me and Matthew went to San Francisco, and that's how this show got made. In
Yeah.
the same week that Ghosting was greenlit, Matthew booked Hell of a Summer.
You're forgetting one very important part. While in San Francisco, Luke helped me film the self-tape for Hell of a Summer, which was insane. Yeah.
So Ghosting was greenlit, Hell of a Summer was shot, and this was both before Ezra even came out.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
So
crazy.
it was just like those three things to me in my mind are so like amalgamated. But no, Hell of a Summer is so puss. It's amazing. Kristen Nazaire, who's in season 2 of this show, is
she
in Hell
joins
of a
us
Summer
this
as
season.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's so
Matthew
fun.
is so good in it. Like the whole thing is amazing.
And I think there is a connection between the two pieces because, Hell of a Summer is about a group of friends, like literally investigating this really scary, high stakes environment. And then the movie itself is really a comedy, but also mixing fear. And it's that funny and fear, kind of tightrope that Ghosting also does a really good job of balancing. And it's a group of friends going into scary places, taking fear and funny, and just finding the entertainment and love in between the two. So yeah, I can't wait for audiences to see Hell of a Summer and relate to the little flamboyant theatrical Ezra, but then also check out Ghosting and feel just the same way and see all the locations and I don't know, let us know where they would want us to investigate. I do think we need to do a Halloween special. We need to do a Ghosting something.
I would love nothing more than do a Halloween special this show.
Yeah.
Ghosting is all fun and games until it's 3 a.m. and everyone's crying.
I know, until everybody wants to
Literally.
go home and we're like, no, we have to hunt the ghosts. And they're like,
Veronica was really
and then
pushing
something
Twitter, I
literally
feel
does
like.
happen. Yeah.
Veronica hated it. Veronica was
That was the one.
hated it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Veronica, we were in 99% humidity in that mine, which I've never been anywhere with 99% humidity. It was so weird. My hair hated it. It was just crazy.
It was that though in particular was just I know we have to end this, but it was just so funny because she got on a plane, on a boat, in a car, never asked one question because the remote island has no idea where she's going, and she finds out we're going to the mine, and they stop filming so they go to like the safety thing about how like if the mine collapses or whatever, and she just turns to us and she goes, if I had known this is where I was going, I wouldn't have agreed to do it. Like,
Got
dead
it.
serious. Like, she was like, joke's over. Like, you guys are actually fucked up for bringing me here. It was so funny. It was hilarious. She was so pissed.
I kept thinking if she was the one in Nikki's episode in Lunenburg Academy, and I was like, she would have died when the ghost showed up at the window. She
Literally.
ran.
No, she would have had a seizure. It was so funny. It was amazing.
You guys killed it this season. So
Yeah,
proud of you.
absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for your time. It's always so great talking to both of you, and congratulations on everything.